Hey guys, um, I'm going to be doing a video, and this video is going to be a little bit different than normal. We're going to be changing Mel over here, and Jordan, who's over here, and the car seat. Turn this so you can see him. He's in the car seat. I don't know if it's focused on him. Okay. But as I'm doing this, I'm gonna kind of get a little more personal with you guys. I kind of let you know some things that's on my mind, that's going on, like personally, like in my family and stuff. And the reason I'm doing this is just mainly because I need to vent about it, and I need to just kind of get it off my chest. And it's really hard for me for some reason to talk to people about it, because I mean, this is my life, and these are my feelings. Like, and I don't do feelings very well. But I mean, it is something that is weighing really, really heavy on me. And I know it's a lot, and it might sound like I'm complaining, but when you go through all this, like, you'll understand. A little backstory. My son, who is 8, almost 9, he'll be 9 in a couple weeks, he's got severe ADHD. He's also autistic, moderately autistic. He also has like epilepsy and SPD, which is sensory processing disorder, and that's pretty severe. And it's just, he's got like severe asthma, and like he spikes fevers, and his epilepsy, he's got 2 forms of it. So like there's a lot, but like for the most part, we get through the day. We get through the day, the week, the month, the year, and eventually we're like, okay, well, he's almost 9. Finding doctors is very difficult for us, because it's like, I don't know if everybody's like afraid of autism and ADHD and all this other stuff, but it's like, it's hard because they don't want to listen. So we ended up finding a psychiatrist, and we went to see her a couple days ago. And I'm just gonna take a moment and show you. I already unbuckled the bottom piece, but look how cute he is in this car seat. Like, just look how adorable he is in this car seat, right? Love it. Anyways, so we found a psychiatrist that we went and seen a couple days ago, and and I really I let it all out. Like, I really let her know everything that has been going on, because there's a lot, and there's a lot of things that are like really hard to deal with. I'm not going to go into detail for respect for my son, but it is hard to say the least to deal with. And it's been a struggle for years on these certain aspects. So we were there for 3 hours, and she ended up, she was so amazing. She was really attentive, really listened, really took in everything every concern, every thought, every feeling, every look, every arm flap, every tick, every, everything. She really took it all in. And she asked me what my biggest fear or my biggest concern would be when it came to my son. And as a mom, it's the fear that he's not going to grow up and have a family and children and a life and move out and be on his own and have a career and all these things. Like, that's my fear for him. I know, like, you guys can barely see his face. I'm sorry. But, and she looked me dead in the eyes and she said, he probably won't. More than likely won't. And hearing that in that moment was like breaking. But in the same sense, it was like, at least, like, I'm not, like, giving that false hope in a sense. But it was also it broke me, because it's like my fear that he can't find love, that he won't be able to experience things that, people, every human desires, and that not everybody will get, and he's one of those people. And she said that, a lot of autistic children have ADHD, and they kind of, in a sense, go hand in hand sometimes, but usually it's one outweighs the other. If they're more ADHD than autistic, then they treat their ADHD, and they tend to grow up and live full lives, get a career, go to college, have families. They get to move on. Even though they are autistic, they have these lives that they run, and it's manageable. Then you have the ones who the autism is worse, and in that aspect, like, you take it day by day. Those are the ones that are more severe. And in the more rare cases, you have them where their brains are constantly in this battle of dominance. What's going to be more, the ADHD or the autism? And that's where he is. So it's like his brain doesn't know which way's up, which way's down. If he's going in a circle or walking in a straight line. And it's like he's constantly battling that. And then it's like, I feel bad for him as a mom, but then it's like, in the same sense, like, this is all he's ever known, so he doesn't know normal. And then I feel even worse, because he doesn't know what normal is. And I know it's not my fault, per se. Like, I mean, I know it because people are telling me that, but it's not what I feel. Like, I feel like it's my fault, and I don't know if that's just a motherly thing. I mean, he was premature, so it's like, maybe if, my body didn't mess up and he stayed in longer, maybe he'd be fine, have a chance. But, and there's all these what ifs, and like, I could have done, or what if I did, what if I made him drink breast milk until he was 2, would that have been different? Like, there's so many things that go through my head all this time. And then it's like, I battle with the guilt that I feel like he's not gonna have these things in life. And I watched this one YouTube, she's on my Facebook and on YouTube, and her son is nonverbal and very autistic. And in all honesty, she does a lot where it's like, I can relate, and then it's like I feel bad for everybody then. But it's hard to explain what it's like if you've never been in that position, because it's like it's it's hard. It's just, I don't know how else to explain, but it's hard emotionally and mentally and physically, and it's just like exhausting. And I love him to death, and I wouldn't trade him in for the world. He is a sweet, sweet boy. But it's like, I just feel so bad most of the time. And I wish I didn't. Like, I wish I knew there was a cure. I wish there was some way I can fix it. But I know there's not. And I think that's really hard on me as well. Super cute. But like I was saying, that is one of the hardest things. It's just trying to deal with that, and so like with his habits and his tics and things like that, with the way that his brain is, if there's a trait in the autism side, and then there's a trait, the same trait that is prominent in ADHD, he gets it from both. So when it happens, when he's picked up on this habit or behavior, it's like magnified. So if it was just an ADHD trait, or if his ADHD is way worse than like his autism, then it's one of those things like, okay, once we treat that, it might go away. Like, his won't. And then she was talking about there's phases that you tend to grow out of when you're like, between the ages of like 1 to 3, and there's like 2, one's like oral, and I forgot what the other one is, but it's like the obsession with like poop and pee and stuff. And like you grow out of these phases once you learn like you can control more things, because his brain is so wired, like high and high function, like a lot of commotion, high commotion, because there's so much in his brain that he can't make out anything. He's stuck in those 2 phases, and she doesn't see him possibly getting out of them because it's been like this for so long. So she's basically told us that we have to like bombard him with all these therapies. Like, yeah, he's been in therapies before, and he's done well, but then once he gets out, he tends to regress. One of the things that she says that he does need is ABA. Well, we've been trying to get an ABA for years, and the waiting list is ridiculously long. And if your child is autistic and you're trying to get an ABA, but she has me working with someone to try to get him in somewhere a little quicker, because he has to have it now. It's not even like we can substitute it for all these other therapies that we had been trying to do. So it's like he has OT behavioral, he had PT and OT, but now he's an OT behavioral, and we're trying to get him to ABA. And if he does ABA, like, he'll need quite a lot of it, an extensive amount. And it's like, you look at him sometimes and you're like, well, I've seen autistic children who are like way worse than this, but he's on a lot of medications. Okay, like a lot. And even then, like, he's still like he's quirky. He's a weird kid. But that's what makes him him. He's special and he's awesome. But I can't leave him home alone for 5 minutes. And I'm being serious. it's not like you can probably put him in front of the Xbox and just know that he'll play Xbox. Because, yes, he will. He loves his Xbox. But he's also that type who will spontaneously wander out of the house. Or, and when he's gone, like, he's gone. 10, 15, 20 minutes. You can call his name, scream his name, look all over the place for him. He won't respond. When he's ready, he'll appear. As a mother, that is the scariest moments of your life. He does it all the time. Okay. He was cooking macaroni or something the other day. Of course, I watch him. He was stirring something, and the water was boiling. He put the noodles in. He was stirring it. Dropped the spoon in, and right before I can even tell him, hold on, he reaches his hand in to pull it out. It's boiling water. Like, things like that. Like, he staples his thumb just to see what would happen. He still puts everything in his mouth. Like, everything, and licks everything. It's just like, I couldn't leave him in the house alone, because I know that he will either do something to harm himself unintentionally, walk out of the house unintentionally, but, you know, like, he knows he's doing it at the time, but not why he's doing it, and then, or I won't have a house to come back to, because it'll probably burn down, or he'll choke and die, because that's something he would do. He puts bottle caps in his mouth multiple times, even though he's choked on it. I don't know why he does it, but he does. He likes to climb on things and then jump off them, which, yes, it is a boy thing, but for him, he doesn't see the danger. He just does. He's the type of kid who will probably walk out in the street without looking, and he has walked out in front of cars before. So it's just, he needs to be watched all the time. So we're actually going to push him up and bring Mel over. Let's see how this one works. She's a little lower. Okay. But anyways, so I deal with this every day, and I would do it over and over and over again. It's a lot. It's a lot to go through every day. And then, just like I said, knowing that he'll always be here and won't grow up. Like, those are the things that I feared for him, you know? And then it's like, oh, had buckles on it. Sorry. But I think my biggest thing is how bad I feel that he has to go through this, and that I feel guilty. Yes, again, I've been told 1,001 times it's not my fault. Like, I'm sure people in the comments will say that, but it is what it is. It is how I feel, and I don't know. Like, it's just how I feel. I thought this would actually be kind of small on her, or big on her, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's a little loose, but it's not horrible. But, and I try to remember that, you know, that I got this, that, you know, we will make it through as long as we have each other. You know, he is a blessing. I mean, I know he is, because I had miscarriages before him. It was hard for me to get pregnant with him, and you know, he is a rainbow baby. You know, he's my son. I mean, I love him to death. It's just hard sometimes, and you know, I still think it's unfair. You know, and I'm okay to feel that way. I'm entitled to that. I mean, his birthday's coming up in a couple weeks, and the only thing he's asked for is cards. Like, that's it. That's all he wants. But he knows he probably won't get it because he has no friends. And, you know, I went on to one of my support groups, one of my mom's support groups, and I pleaded with people, and I had so many people respond that they were going to send cards and stuff, and I got like 7, and it's like, I am more grateful for those 7 cards than anybody will ever know. Because that just means that those people took that all of their time to write him a card. Like, that don't even know my son. And all he wants is people to like him. And he doesn't get why people don't. And it's very hard as a mom. And I cry about it often. You know, and on this post, some people had commented, well, why don't you have a party for him? Because every time I have a party, nobody shows up. And that's harder for him than just not planning something at all. And just doing a family thing. It's like, why would I set him up for that disappointment, you know? Sometimes I'm just at a loss because it's like, the only thing I can do is sit here and cry because I don't know what else to do sometimes. He's so bright with things. I mean, like, the psychiatrist was like, well, with ADHD, he's probably really super bright. I mean, math, and he's in third grade, okay? 8, almost 9, and he could do 7th grade math. Brilliant kid. I mean, when it comes to math, and like, in coding, he can do a lot of coding, which is really good. But, like, to take that and you put it into a career, he'd have to go through schooling. I can't even get him, like, to sit down and do all of his 3rd grade work. So, I don't know. It's like, I don't know how he can pursue this, sorry. And I mean, he's so smart. He's so sweet and sensitive. And all he wants is people to love him. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really trying not to cry. I just want him to be happy. Okay. I'm gonna end with that because I'm just gonna sit here and cry for another hour. But thank you guys for just listening. And look how cute they look. And if you can relate to this, or if you're going through this and you're in the same mental, emotional, physical struggle that you want someone to talk to, I mean, I'm here to listen. I'm here to talk. I can give you my experiences, and help you in the best way I can. Or if you're going through this and you're a pro, give me some pointers. I'm more than willing to listen. We just have to remember that I guess we got this, As hard as days may be, we got it. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.